didn't already know. The Amish is a small group of people who dedicate their lives to the simple things and working the land. They are experts at growing crops as it was intended, meaning our hemp products are not industrialized, which can make it more potent.
That's why we don't speak. Made men ain't supposed to make statements.
Jay-Z and DeHaven are two individuals who have a personal history together. DeHaven is a childhood friend of Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, and they grew up together in the Marcy Projects, a housing project in Brooklyn, New York. DeHaven and Jay-Z were involved in illegal activities in their youth, including drug dealing. They were part of a crew called the Trey Ballas, which was known for their involvement in the drug trade. Jay-Z has spoken openly about his past involvement in the drug game and the impact it had on his life.
If you want to rap, you'd be a
drug dealer.
You still think you'd be a drug dealer?
That shit was fun.
Was it?
Yeah. It's an adrenaline rush. Ask anybody who's ever been really in the middle of the game. It's an adrenaline rush that it's addictive. That's why people. It's a very dangerous field.
Yeah.
Job occupation, but the rush that you get, like, because it's final.
However, their friendship took a turn when Jay-Z started pursuing a career in music. As Jay-Z began to gain success as a rapper, he distanced himself from his former life and associates. This created a rift between him and DeHaven, as DeHaven felt abandoned by Jay-Z when he needed him the most.
The last conversation we had, we shook hands. You know, I was in a little bit a situation with this federal trial.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the last conversation we had, he looked me dead in my face, you know what I'm saying? And told me, yo, don't even worry about it, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You need some help, I got you. I ain't seen him yet.
DeHaven has publicly expressed his feelings of betrayal and resentment towards Jay-Z. He has accused Jay-Z of abandoning their friendship and using his experiences in the drug trade for his own gain in his music career.
Everything is exposed now, exposed. And this is what brought me to this live, actually. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called confession, because people are exposing people for clout, and then you start to ask yourself, what is this shit about? Years ago, I did that YouTube that y'all seen post, and I just wanted to take y'all through what my state of mind was and what was going on and how much pressure it was for me to do that YouTube.
That's why the city fell off, because it got niggas like him in the game that did all this bullshit and corrupted the game and had to bring it to this. That I'm on camera, and I ain't even that type of nigga to be on camera doing this type of shit. Niggas that know me know who the fuck I am and how I get bread. But it's a different time now, and this is what they changed this shit into, man. For real, I ain't feeling the love from none of you motherfuckers that none of y'all niggas would have got no money. This shit was all me. All that shit revolved around me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wouldn't be no Rockefeller empire if it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to expose all y'all bitch ass niggas.
Which went crazy viral and everything. So, we're gonna talk about that, and so I'm gonna take you through this story, right? About how this YouTube got made and why, and what was my breaking point in my pressure bust pipes, and why I did this. It started out, now walk with me through this, right? It started out, right before I came home from prison, 05, 06, I came home from prison. It was an article, before I came home from prison, it was an article in a XXL with Jay in it, 25-year history, some shit, right? And they asked him about me in that article and something, and they asked him about me and they asked him about Calvin Klein. And he said something about Calvin Klein. What he said with Calvin Klein was like, I don't really know Klein like that. I met Klein through a friend of a friend. That friend which turned out to be me. That's what he was talking about, but that's here nor there. But when they asked him about me, Jay said something to the fact of like, led me to believe like, okay, cool, man, whatever we had prior to this, that shit might be dead and shit, that we got some, you know, that we could patch this shit up. That's how I took on that interview and I read in the magazine. So I was saying to myself before I came home, like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do, man. This is my plan. You know what I'm saying? We'll go get with him. We sit down, we work out our differences on what happened, and you know what I'm saying, and we get back to order and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm on some new shit. You know what I mean? I want to be part of the team and shit. You know what I mean? All this shit got to stop, man. So when I get out, hear me out. When I get out, I be out for a few days. I stayed out for a few days, then a few days turned into weeks, right? You get out. One thing about this and around the way in the prison, in the streets and shit, when a nigga come home, niggas will reach out. Those who fuck with you reach out to you and say, yo, welcome home, woo, 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 woo.
What's up, my nigga? That nigga home.
You know, I ain't get no calls from the homie, right? So I'm like, damn, so, okay, well, I know he know I'm out, though. I know he know I'm on these streets and shit, so I gave it enough ample time before I make a phone call and reach out to him and shit, and him know to no avail, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to get a hold of one of the family members, and they sent one of them to come out and talk to me, right? So when I meet up with Annie, which is his sister, which I thought was my sister. You get what I'm saying? Hear me out when I say that. When I thought, you know, this is my sister too. So, I mean, I'm thinking the conversation is going to go, you know, I'm going to talk to Jay, whatever, woo-woo. That conversation went way wrong. That conversation went all the way left. You understand what I'm saying? And when I got up from that conversation with Annie and left, I really felt like a stranger, like somebody she just met type of shit. And it fucked me up. And I'm going to get to why it fucked me up, you know what I'm saying? And all of this going to come back. And it fucked me up, you know what I'm saying? I never got to talk to Jay. She gave me the, you know, everything I expected, way left. Yo, get your brother on the phone, woo, 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 Nah. So I would say when I say the pressure bust pipes, that's when the pot gets on the stove. You feel me? The pot gets on the stove from there, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. So I leave and I go back down south. I go back down, you know, south and shit. And from there, shit just started going downhill for me. You know, everything was fucked up for me. And this is not by Jay and them. A lot of shit that was going on from there after that had nothing to do, that was going on with me, had nothing to do with Jay and his family at all. Nothing to do with Jay. You know, shit was just fucked up for me. Whether it was bad choices, bad luck, you know, or just my storm. You feel me? And this went on. This might have went on for another year, right? You know what I'm saying? Another year. But during that process of a year, right, Jay and Rockefeller is just fucking. I mean, you already know. You know what I'm saying? We talking about 09 and 10, I mean 2010, 11 going like that. I mean, shit, they on fire. So while that's happening, my life is dumb. It's just fucked up. My life is fucked up. This has nothing to do with Jane. But the fact of the matter, like, because they were so visual, you know what I'm saying? It was building up. The water in the pot was building up. The water in the pot was building up. Pouring water in this pot in the stove on. You know what I'm saying? So as my life started taking a downhill and shit just stopped, and they just started blowing, and you know, and I started to think about this shit. Started to think about this shit as a whole, like, this shit is bigger than just, how you say, this is bigger than just betrayal. Like, this shit is starting to look like it's a conspiracy type of shit going on. That, you know, I don't understand what's going on, and my life is fucked up. And so, and this is where my homie come in. This is where I'm gonna tell you a story with H. How, you know, and at this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just say this, at this time now, at the peak of this shit, I got some niggas with me on the run that I try to hold down. I couldn't hold down. Shit was havoc. Shit, but H, my man, was telling me like, yo, you know what I'm saying, yo, this, man, you gotta do a YouTube. Fuck this, you gotta do a YouTube, man. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. You know what I'm saying? You need to say what's going on, bro. And I just was like, man, fuck YouTube, man. Let's try to make it. At this time, I was trying to actually make H and them do an album while they was on a run. You feel me? Like some movie shit. You know what I'm saying? So this shit got so bad, man. He finally pushed me to do it, yo. I did the YouTube, boom. And I did the YouTube, and I said all that shit.
My name is DeHaven, AKA Headache Gil from Marcy, BK, Brooklyn. What up? I'm here to expose this nigga Jay for who he really is and what type of nigga he is. But at the same time, I'm gonna let y'all know how I'm responsible for that whole Rockefeller empire. I'm gonna let y'all know about most of the shit he talking about on the record and who he talking about on record and all that other shit. You know, all them subliminal messages and shit like that. I'm gonna let you know how foul how Dame is. I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna let you know the whole breakdown on that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know how his family, you know what I'm saying, how they totally how disrespectful their family is. You know what I'm saying? How down from the mother on down and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to I'm just gonna let y'all know how bad they the game up and how blind they got y'all and shit, talking all this shit, how real they is and what they doing for niggas. I'm gonna let y'all know how they got niggas fucked up in jail and how niggas is around the way walking. All the niggas, most of the niggas that pioneered that game. I'm gonna let you know who was getting that bread. I'm gonna let you know the relationship about how me and Dame, matter of fact, man, I got you coming, man. You know what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know so much shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just air it out on y'all, you know what I mean?
When you get a chance, go look at it. I spoke about Dame, I spoke about Ty Emery, I spoke about Jay and his whole family and shit. I said some ill shit, you know? I said some real ill shit, right? You know, and a lot of people always ask me, but I take that back and, you know, whatever, you know, and I always think about it and I'll be like, you know, I would change some of the wording. It would still be the same, but the words would just be changed, you know what I'm saying? But speaking out of anger, that's just how shit gonna come out. So when I did it, I got no money from it. That shit went super viral. You know what I'm saying? The person that you know, that knew all the technical shit, he the one made all the money and shit, and you know, and shit like that. So, because I wasn't thinking that you could get paid at that time off of YouTube. I was only thinking about the DVD sales. So, long story short with that shit didn't work. I mean, it worked as far as the world getting to see a face and somebody spazzing on Jay. You get what I'm saying? It worked on that aspect, that the world got to see like, oh, who the fuck is this? Who the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Who's this guy? He's wilding. He talking about this nigga. So after that, bro, that was the only benefit from that. Because after that, my life just got darker and darker and darker. And down a rabbit hole, darker shit, right? And I started to think back like, yo, look, man, people ask me like, yo, why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? And when I tell you my life got much more darker, I mean, homeless, like real dark, low point of my life when I got homeless. You feel me? You can't go up until you hit rock bottom. And I think homeless was rock bottom for me. And I'll tell you about the story from bouncing back from that. But the pressure that busts the pipes as when you start to think about what was going on in my head with all of them, because I said something about all of them. And I'm gonna start out with Tata, right? Totally upset and disappointed with Tata, spazzing on him too. Tata is right, Jay so-called right hand man. Oh, f him. Tata been biting bulls for a minute. I ain't gonna let none of this ish ride. Because I felt that me and Tata always had a relationship, and he wouldn't even be with Jay if it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Tata ended up in the right place at the right time, but he still came in through my people, and we never had a problem. But the fact that he didn't even bother to say, you know, come and check on me when I came home. The fact that, you know, he acted different too. Like this is where shit starts to set in. Like, wait a minute, you know, niggas are not talking to me. And then when I came home, Emery was locked up then, and I thought me and Emery still had some kind of, you know, made friendship. You know what I'm saying? We was co-defendants. And then Emery sent word out, yo, tell DeHaven fall back. I'll talk to him when I get on the street. Cool. Okay. Because I was advocating for Emery in the beginning, because keep in mind, what y'all really don't know, Jay wasn't doing shit for him in the beginning of his bid. Shit. I don't know, you know, what y'all heard, but that's why I was like out there trying to advocate, but I guess they had a plan anyway. So, cool. I'm disappointed and spazzing on Emery for that reason too, because Emery should know better. Emery know who brought him in this circle. Emery know how he got in the circle, so he should have known better. So, I spazzed on him too. And when it come to Jay and his family, when I spoke of Annie and I said like my sister and shit, you feel me? I said like my sister, the same girl, like wanted to give me something that I couldn't take because I felt like that's my sister. Nah, I can't do that, man. Annie, we cool. Nah, we can't do that. I'm cool with that. You like my sister, it's not there. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect, too, of my man, my little brother. It's just, you know, just respect, man. Not none of that AZ, Rich Porter shit. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is on some real honorable shit. Like, nah, I can't do that. So that's a special bond that I thought I had with his sister. Right? So then I'm thinking, okay, well, what about Mickey, the other sister? I mean, that was my sister's best friend, and she was like a sister. I mean, so much like a sister. Like, her son is my godchild. Like, she's like, yo, you could be the godfather of my child. Like, we family. We family. You get what I'm saying? And Eric, which is the brother, which is the probably the only one that have a backbone that really can, that would be outspoken, but I wouldn't put him on the spot that I fuck with. He's a cool dude, and I just push that to the side. But far as people say about, well, his mother, you said something about his mother, that's why he got so angry and did the American Gangster.
Fuck the haven for caving. That's why we don't speak. Made men ain't supposed to make statements.
And I started thinking about his mother, right? And I said this, right? And there's no disrespect here, right? But that lady, when she asked me to make sure that her son be okay when he with me, I did that above and beyond. Hear me when I say that. I did that above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? I got a bullet in my back.
Hospital days reflecting when my man laid up on the uptown high block. He got his side sprayed up.
I've had guns put to my head. I've been there as a big brother the whole time. The whole time. Never asked her for anything other than that. And I uphold her word. When she asked me that, I honored that. And I felt like when I needed her most, which is his mother, which is my mother's best friend at one time too, when I needed her most, she did not step in at all. So when I sit back and think about, wait a minute, the whole family, not, it's a conspiracy here. Like, it's almost like, did they have to sit down, all of them in one room and say, I don't give a fuck. Don't speak to the Irby family. Don't ever speak to them. Don't whatever, don't ever fuck with them again. Like, that's a conspiracy. I mean, all the way up. And these are people that I'm telling you that I'm like, I thought this was my family. I have never seen nothing like this in my life. So sitting back thinking of all that was the pressure. Like, how, when I needed them most, like I never asked them for anything. So I gave them a piece of my mind on how I felt at that time on YouTube, period. Some people be like, why you wait so long and all of this shit? Man, listen, you cannot tell nobody when they should be, when is their breaking point? Because that was my breaking point, and that that changed my life, yo. It really changed my life. So when I say that, it was more than just a conspiracy. It was betrayal. I felt betrayal. I felt like my mom's got played. I felt like my family got played. So when people talk about, you shouldn't talk about, or you should let it go and shit. Oh, it's let go, bro. Please, trust me, it's let go. And the fact that I get paid for even talking about it now and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And making positive out of it, you know what I'm saying? And forgiveness about everything, you know what I'm saying? It's just all beautiful. You feel me? So if that ain't enough for y'all to understand what that shit was about, you know what I'm saying, and why I feel the way I felt about them and said that, I just broke it down to you. And, I know a lot of y'all don't understand what, have been betrayed. Like, there's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it felt like, and it's to this day, it still feels the same way. Like, they sat down and they said, don't ever fuck with them no more. And I'm cool with that, bro. And I'm cool with that. And I'm going to give you a part 2. Part 2 to this is, it's almost like a redemption. It's almost like forgiveness. Like, you got to hear how I dealt with it. How I turned this shit into a positive situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't hate Jay, but I get all of that. You think I talk about this because I don't like Jay? Listen, bro. Listen, audience. Y'all need to listen to this carefully. Homeboy just went $2 point something billion, man, he worth. Or he got. It don't make a difference to me. Difference. The only thing to me is I'm proud of that. I hope he see 5 billion. I hope he see 5 billion. You feel me? Sitting there, me and H downtown at the Barclays Center outside, and H look at me and say, yo, do you know how important you are, bro? Looking at the Barclays Center. So me and my man sitting outside the Barclays Center, he said, yo, nigga, do you know how important you are? There'd be no Barclays Center. Keeping it 100 with y'all. Be no Barclays Center. We sat in that car for a whole hour talking about what if. Right? What if Jay said DeHaven taught me the game.
Then DeHaven introduced me to the games. DeHaven introduced me to the games. DeHaven introduced me to the games. Spanish Jose introduced me to Kane.
Right? What if I didn't? What if it wasn't no Jay? What if I didn't teach him the game? But what if he didn't see what he saw so he can give you the reasonable doubt? What if that didn't happen? What if that didn't happen? One of my homies, white boy, said, man, I still be wearing the damn New Jersey Nets jersey. I said, that's deep. That's deep. Or when he said that, yo, fuck DeHaven for caving, what if I did snitch? What if I did snitch? If I was a snitch, what if I did snitch? There'd be no Jay. There'd be no Jay, it'd be no Rihanna. Think about it. Just think about it, man. So I know my presence and my purpose is served, bro. I'm always gonna be a part of that. I wanna see him do 5 billion. You know what I'm saying? To see, yeah, that's how important I am. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I teach the man how to fish. Whether he come back and he getting marlins and whales or whatever, I taught him to fish. Can't knock that. How H said, don't knock the hustle. Don't knock the hustle. That's what H said. Can't knock the hustle. So I know my purpose is, why my purpose is here. You know what I'm saying? And I also know why my purpose is not over there. Hear me now. You feel me? I know why. You know what I'm saying? So it's just big, bro. And then the conspiracy part of it is, like, them niggas gotta dodge around me. You feel me? You know how they gotta move without waking me up? It's like they trying to change the narrative of what role I played and why I'm so responsible for where they at. They trying to change the narrative and everything. That's hard. They got to watch what they say about, you know, somebody asks you, yo, well, where'd you get this and where'd you start at? It's going to always got to be back to me. Always. I sit there and watch Henry do interviews. They got to dodge around my name. They got to dodge around how you met this. Yo, at some point, bro, they worry about me. As crazy as it may seem, they worry about me. And I wish them all the best, bro. I wish them all the best. And like I said, that's part 2. Part 2 is about the forgiveness and shit. And how I started to see things in a different perspective on why I'm not over there.
Be sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and share this video.
Now we're going to get in to the story on what Jason talking about and the rest of the shit. Now this is where the story begins. Because as you see, you know, on this song, he starts out with, you know, we was definitely down together. We was, you know, together, you know, working together, whatever, hustling together, and it was all good. And he proceeds to say in this, say, when the feds came and got him, if you listen closely to the lyrics, he said the feds came and got him, and we both, you know, ran off and I got caught. Whatever.
The feds came to get me, we both fled quickly. Wasn't quick enough to jump over the hedges with me, got caught.
So be it. I mean, if that's the way he wanted to put it, that's cool, and you know, that's maybe the way you have to say it. But it ain't go like that. So while I'm in Wake County, right, I'm waiting, I'm calling, I'm waiting to see what the get around is, right? And he mentions on his lyrics about a phone call. And he accepted a phone call, and he felt like it was something shaky in my voice.
And when he called collect and I heard his name, I quickly accepted. But when I reached the phone, he's talking reckless. I could sense deceit in his tone.
Or whatever. That shit is a lie. That shit is a lie. I tell you this. I was in Wake County I waited a few days to see what the pop-off is, just to understand the magnitude of what I'm going through. I met a nigga in there, dealt with some fat shit before, and he was telling me to get around and all this other shit. What was going on with me and what am I facing. So, after 2-3 days and shit, settled in, I started to reach out to Jay, right? I started to reach out to Jay. So, first I have my shorty call him. Niggas he not answering. She not answering. He not answering. And you know how niggas get in the pen, right? When you in the jam, like you trying to figure out what's going on. So you getting screaming on your show. You fuck me, he ain't answering. You call such and such. You call this one and this one, this and that. And girls go through a lot when this shit happen, man. Because a nigga put the press on them to take care of a lot of this shit. So she like, babe, he, I can't get a hold of him, whatever. Woo. All right. So I called Mama Love. I called my mom's. I said, Mom, I'm gonna need you to call this nigga Moms and tell him I need to talk to him, because it's dead up. It's serious. I need to talk to him. Mama Love. My moms know it. They was friends, always been friends at that time, whatever. So I called my mom's on deck. So she called, she gave me a number. I called this nigga Moms, right? I called his Moms, and this is what I say. I say, hey, Miss Glow, how you? She's like, fine. She said, what up? I'm like, nothing. I said, I'm in a little situation here. I'm trying to talk to Jay. So she was like, huh? What? I said, yeah, I'm in a little situation here. Nothing major. Just want to talk to Jay. I've been trying to get at him, trying to reach him and shit. It's been to nothing. So she was like, well, where you calling me from? I said, I'm calling you from jail. Like, I'm locked up. So she says, okay, all right, I'll get him a message and hang up quick. That's the only person I talked to. And that was the only words that I said, right? Keep that in mind now. That's the only thing I said. Because keep this in mind. So, meanwhile, I'm still in there, right? So I'm in there. I still haven't heard from Jay. You know what I'm saying? So now I go into transit, right? You know what I'm saying? I go into transit, so I ain't really got time to chase this nigga around and woo, this and that and the third. Because I really don't know what's going on until I get to Maryland. So what's the use of even talking to him, trying this shit? But the fact of the matter, he ain't responding to this shit, you know what I mean? That got me tight. So now I go in transit. They take me from, they actually threw me out of Wake County because I was causing havoc in there. You know what I'm saying? I was causing havoc in there. So I went to Wake County. I went from Wake County to Wilson County. Wilson County was where the bus come and drop them, pick you up. I got to Wake County. They already knew the reputation that I had coming from. When I got to Wilson County, they already heard about what I had going on in Wake County. So they was already, when I got to Wilson County, this was 98. These jails was like Mulberry and Andy Griffin, like these little towns and shit. You feel me? Wilson like that. So they had a little small jail, and I'm like, no TV. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to be able to stay in here. You know what I'm saying? The police was like, nah, you good. You know what I'm saying? They gave me some food from outside, and in the newspaper, they said, yo, you're only going to be here for 24 hours. The bus be here to take you to VA. I said, I'm like, cool and shit, you know what I mean? So I laid back in there. It was two twins. It was two twins in there at the same time that killed the state trooper. Them niggas was facing life in there. And I'm listening to them niggas cracking jokes and shit in the next cell. That shit was crazy. So meanwhile, bus come. I catch the bus. They ship me out to VA. What is that shit? FCI Petersburg, right? That's where I landed at. FCI Petersburg. Now, we talking weeks now. I still ain't hearing from Jay and nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? At all, from nobody. And let me start saying, I ain't heard from Jay, I ain't heard from Dame, I ain't heard from nobody. And I say these names because these are all the people that I pretty much looked out for. And I'm just trying to see, you know, how they handling shit, you know, when I need it, when I'm in need. But Jay specifically. So I get to Petersburg. When I get to the Fed joint in Petersburg, that's when shit starts to, like, you get to talk to people. Even though people don't want to talk. Rule one, they tell you dirt up. A dude told me straight up as soon as I got in here, he said, man, don't talk to nobody about your shit when you get in here. He was like, don't talk to nobody. Don't talk to nobody. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep to self, but I really don't have nothing to say because I don't know what they want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they pick me up. Them niggas be lying to you. Oh, so I don't know why they pick me up, right? So I can't tell nobody about nothing. All I know is they pick me up and they want me back in Maryland. So, I'm quiet and shit, you know, playing my part. And once I got out on the basketball court, like, once I got on that basketball court out there, I showed out, right? And that shit brought attention to me, right? Because I gave it to niggas, dumped on a few niggas. I was, you know, on some shit. And anywhere you go where you shoot some ball and shit, and, you know, especially in there, they got their little teams and shit, and they gonna be on you. Niggas gave me sneakers, everything in there and shit. Because I was playing in Bobos. If you know what Bobos is, niggas will tell you what that is if they've been in there. So I'm sitting in there at SCI Petersburg and shit, and I'm talking to a jailhouse lawyer now and shit, right? The jailhouse lawyer telling me, yo, you know, keep quiet around here. That is nothing that you're gonna know until you get up there. So he busting the move down to me and shit, you know, what's going on. So I'm cool with that. Then I meet another nigga and shit in there. And he tell me what I'm about to really go through. Forget this Fed shit now. He telling me, get my mind right, because I'm told him, say, yo, you know, my destination is Baltimore. And when I told him that nigga was like, yo, get all the rest you can while you here. Get the sleep, the good rest, the food, get all that shit while you here. Because when you get up there to Baltimore, city jail, this is where they was keeping niggas at, Fed niggas at, down there in city jail. So, boom. From Petersburg, bus come, I get down to Baltimore. Now, it's havoc. That shit is havoc. New York niggas catching problems in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out to them niggas in B-More that's on here now. If you got, you know, y'all niggas can vouch and know what's up. I was in there 9-8 and it was havoc for New York niggas. I'm not gonna lie. It was havoc. And honestly, only way I got by was my mail and the shorties that was coming through visiting me. You feel me? They, you know, niggas start seeing, yo, okay, my mail saying North Carolina. You know, these chicks coming up here with crazy accents and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they was calling me NC, right? And I was going with that. You feel me? And I was going with that, yeah, because I was showing them pictures and shit from Bike Week, this, that, and there. You know, knowing you got pictures and ass and shorties coming through, you know, niggas got a different perspective about you. But I see what they was doing in New York, niggas, man. We was outnumbered in there, and, you know, that's just Baltimore for you. That was that shit going on down in there. So meanwhile, right, while I'm in there, okay, I don't know where the hell Emery was. Dead ass. I can't tell you where he was at that time. I know me and Big Ty was in city jail. Shout out Big Ty, man. Much love. I can't wait to talk about your story, man. But I definitely want to have consent, cause, you know, you're like Ty's like Emery and Ty would be like me and Jay. Only difference is, you know, two different places. And when I say me and Jay, because Emery did the same thing to Ty as I feel like Jay did to me, straight up like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna speak on it no more unless I got consent from Ty. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. He's a good dude, real good guy. Made tons of fucking money with him. You feel me? Tons. So I ain't see Emery, so I'm in there the whole time. Now I'm starting to do these bail, now I get to go see the judge and see what's up with this bail shit now, right? So First bond hearing, denied. Straight like that, denied. Before I got to my second bond hearing, I already hear Emery on the street. Straight like that. By the time I got to my second bond hearing, Emery was on the street. I don't know how that shit. He, private lawyer, all that shit. He done what he's supposed to do, I guess, or Jay done what he's supposed to do for him. Whatever the situation is, but Emery's out of there. My second bond hearing, denied. You know what I'm saying? Denied. I mean, no bail, nothing. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are y'all holding me and shit? And I'm telling you, third bail hearing coming up. Dead up. So I'm going to another bail hearing and shit. And I'm telling you when I'm going to court, for this bail hearing, by the time the third bail hearing comes, the judge is already stressing it. Like, yo, why do you want me to hold Mr. Erdy? What am I holding him for? This is his third bail hearing here, and you don't have. He told the state's attorneys that you don't have no more evidence than what you had when he first came. All you have is 6-7 confidential informants. That's all you have is people telling on him. You don't. What do you have to make him so I can make him stay here on a bail with no bail? Like, you're not giving me nothing. And she's steady like, no, please don't let him go. He's the top. He's the main guy. He's responsible for 85% of the cocaine that comes on the Eastern Shore, Your Honor. Please, he's the head of the. She begging him. She like, listen, I'm gonna deny this bail again, and when we come back in next time, you're gonna have to have some. Cool. Now, this next time coming around, right? Boom, they give me a bail. Right? They give me a bail, and I'm getting eligible for a home monitor if I make bail and get out. All that shit gonna come together. So now I need bail. Now I can get to call Jay. Now I'm gonna call. Now let me see how I'm, So I'm telling my shorty, yo, get at him now. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I need some help. Woo, woo, woo. That shit was a no-go. That shit was straight a no-go and disrespectful. That nigga had my shorty chasing him around. And if any of the fuck niggas that was around him listening to this, you probably was there and you seen this shit. You know what I'm saying? To where my moms, I want to say Mama Love and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Chasing this nigga around to get a conversation and say, yo, my son need help. And it wasn't about the money. It's just that I couldn't show what I had first, you know what I'm saying? To get out of this situation. Could have got his money back or whatever I needed, woo, whatever. But the fact of the matter, I needed him on deck. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a sky, I don't know if they gave me a $250,000 bail, $150,000, something light. So, this is my word. About time my shorty run him down. I want to say, man, quote, she said the fact of something like, yo, I finally got to run him down. I don't know if this nigga had a show or wherever he was at, he was in a hotel room with a bunch of fucking niggas around him. You feel me? And he gave her a couple of dollars for some bail money for me. And when I say couple, I mean short money. Like, beat it, get out of here money. Dead ass, disrespectful. Dead ass. To a point where my shorty was like, I never want to deal with them bitch ass niggas again. Ever. All of them. Any of them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit, this nigga really played me like this? Okay. So I get around all that shit. Because if you hear the music, that nigga said he got me a lawyer. He got me a lawyer, and the lawyer told him I was talking reckless. That I was on some sneaky shit.
When I reached the phone, he's talking reckless. I could sense the seat in his tone. I said, damn, dog, what? Now I'm reaching your home? He said, main man, you think shit sweet cause you're home. I just sat.
Where was that at? That nigga never got me no lawyer. I went to court. About time I went to court with a legal beagle, a court appointed, because I knew I wasn't going to waste no money because they didn't have nothing on me, and they just didn't have shit for me to be paying a lawyer, especially the fuck lawyer I had that was trying to get me to cop the 20 years. So I wasn't doing that neither. So the fact of the matter, he said he got me a lawyer and he talked to me on the phone and it was reckless. None of that shit. The fact that the worst part of it was I talked to his mom on the phone and only said that I just needed to talk to Jay. And then word was on the street that I called this nigga, and I was talking reckless, and his mom's told me, his mom said that. Technically, because nobody knew I talked to her. So how the fuck people knew on the street that I called to his mom's and they talking about, yo, this nigga's a rat, he calling this nigga ooh ooh. Where the fuck did that leak come from? If I only talk to your moms. So that shit he's saying in record, and this is during all the time that this going on. And I'm like, really? So that all week ago shit, that's natural. It was all the week, what could happen in a week. There was no stress or nothing, but that's what happened in the week. But this shit he put on record, straight lies. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't home in 9 weeks. You know what I'm saying? All of this, I'm just telling you that he's been telling the story from the beginning, and these are his words. You know what I mean? I had all my shit tight, bro. So as I'm on the street with a home monitor, now I get out on bail, and y'all know the next situation after that. The next situation after that is I don't get to see him until Greensboro. And we already talked about the Greensboro situation when you see me on the stage with him on that MTV shit, and we, you know what I mean? Because I had to go to him. I'm quite sure you guys read that story. I had to go. I met him in Greensboro, and this nigga looked me in my face. Then now I'm out on bail. He looked me in my face and still said, "Yo, don't worry about it. I got you, dog." You understand? He said, "Don't worry, I got you, dog." We in 2020 now, and I ain't seen that nigga yet. You feel me? So from the time back then to now, it's so much more in the music that I'm gonna let y'all listen to. That now shit gonna start to make sense. But you have to watch Marcy Made to understand a whole other part of the story. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the vital part that's missing. That if you guys ain't seen that, y'all just really watching, you're really listening to the story from about 60% in. You know what I'm saying? From the time 98, he's gonna keep making that music, and he's gonna keep talking about the situation. But it's just coming from him, and they all lies. So that's how this whole shit started with It Was All Good a week ago. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about from the time they picked me up and the time I went in there and this and that. And this nigga is making music about it, trying to make it seem like I'm the guy. All this Fed shit and rat shit and all this, it's so crazy because look at the position he in now. Look who is the president and CEO of Roc Nation. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, this is the shit that I be trying to speak about. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna stop talking and let the music talk. Because a lot of people keep saying, yo, you doing the same thing, woo woo. But okay, I'm gonna let it come out through the music. Because it's been there the whole time. And I thought this right here was the most disrespectful shit. And mind you, I still went to go see the nigga in Greensboro. Still asked for some help. Still. And the nigga still curved me. You know what I'm saying? So a nigga can't tell me that the niggas ain't put the betrayal down early on. You get what I'm saying? And through this whole situation, like I said, Emery was my co-defendant. And he got out first. You know what I'm saying? All this shit gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear the song, It Was All Good just a week ago, you know what I mean? The lyrics and shit is dope. You know what I mean? If someone been in that situation and they can relate. But as far as that shit standing for me, that was to me, nah. That was lies. That was lies on me. That was a total disrespect on every level. But I still let it ride. You feel what I'm saying? I still let it ride. So that's the story behind It Was All Good just a week ago.
Brooklyn rapper and business mogul Jay-Z, real name Sean Corey Carter, former childhood friend DeHaven Irby, who ran the streets with Jay in the late 80s, early 90s, reveals his truth behind Jay-Z's song A Week Ago, featuring Too Short.
It was all good just a week ago.
DeHaven breaks down the song, pointing out facts in which Jay-Z lied, and gives his account on how it all went down. Jay-Z former friend DeHaven responds to Emery Jones, who is another friend of Jay-Z's that was introduced to Jay by DeHaven in the early 90s, during the time they ran the streets together. In a Breakfast Club interview, Charlemagne asked Emery how did him and Jay-Z meet, and this is what he said.
humble soul. That's who I am. Just a humble soul that just happened to have a great best friend and brother named Jay-Z as part of the story. So that helps out the process.
Now you one of Jay-Z's day ones, like one of the original circle crew members, brothers.
30 years.
30 years. How'd y'all first connect?
Streets, man. It was a connection through a mutual friend that them two grew up together on the same floor. That came together, just so happened that mutual friend ain't around no more. We still here.
Now, what's your position within Roc Nation? Just to explain to everybody what it is that you do.
I'm the pearl guy. So anything you see with this paper plane, that's mine.
Okay.
That's mine.
Well, DeHaven takes to his Instagram to respond in a post saying, "My new name is Mutual Friend, huh?" I guess DeHaven or Headache is too hard to say or pronounce. Mutual Friend kept you with a safe full of cash while you was only in high school. The mutual friend that opened the doors in NYC for you to be able to shop and walk around safe. The same mutual friend you traveled distances to come visit when I was on lockdown in '91. The very same mutual friend and co-defendant on my Fed case. The new name Mutual Friend speaks volumes on how they handle their friendships. However, it's funny how a person you're close with could forget your name after you link them to a billionaire. Truth of the matter is that I'm still around and going to be here. See more in-depth conversations about Emery and I relationship before Jay in my upcoming documentary. I want to thank everyone that signed up and registered on Backstage for the roles. Good luck and see y'all at the casting. Look forward to the next open casting for the roles of the teenage DeHaven and Jay, coming of age. The casting is going to be crazy.
Like I said, man, you see that last post, I built that shit brick by brick. That shit kind of fit into that last post by Emery that I, reposted by Emery about changing the narrative about everything with my story. As you can see, there's hate going on, you know what I'm saying? And people really, it really is hate. And they not disguising it, you feel me? Especially with my story. And it's funny, one of the comments said, yo, your story is like one of the Chicago Bulls championship picture without Michael Jordan in it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the Chicago Bulls without Michael Jordan in this picture. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw the story, but, that's where I feel like where my position was and the foundation of everything that's going on, with Rockefeller and all that shit. So, and people would look at that picture and be like, yo, well, where's Jordan at? And everybody on the Chicago Bulls is telling their story, but nobody is talking about Jordan and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's got the outside, people like, yo, well, what's going on here? You feel me? So that's pretty much like how things, how they changing the story up, and another generation would see that picture and would just think that's the Chicago Bulls. You feel what I'm saying? When that's not the exact story. When somebody older would be like, nah, that ain't the team. That ain't who really put the team together. That ain't who really won the championships and shit that made it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, when you think about it in that point. And that was a good perspective. Somebody DM'd me that, and I thought that was cool. But other than that, man, I appreciate it, man. And when I say, like I said, brick by brick, man, like, during the course of this Marcy Meade, man, I met some great people. I lost some great people. I made some terrible decisions. I made some good decisions, you know what I'm saying? The whole journey. And it's gonna be like, amazing to actually start filming it, you know what I'm saying? That's what the bigger goal is. But like I said, I came on, I appreciate it, and I ain't come on here to antagonize that. And I don't want people to think that when I come on here that I'm hating these guys and I'm throwing, because technically if you really look at it, it's like, you know what I'm saying, when they do it like that, it's like they throwing shots at you. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you throwing shots and shit. I'm really trying to tell my story here, and you carrying me in a different way. You carrying it in a different way, and this is not how I'm writing my story. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody got their story, and I ain't saying, you don't have your story, but You know what I'm saying? When it affects minds, in my reality of my story, how real it is, you know what I'm saying? It's affecting the whole shit. So, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be confusion. Just like it's confusion with Biggie movie and certain people that wasn't a part of that. It's confusion with a lot of movies that and stuff that people that was there wasn't affiliated that should have had some say in it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is.
In new allegations that have recently emerged, Jay-Z's former Rockefeller artist has made claims that the rapper actually has a secret daughter that was born before he and Beyoncé got together. Jay-Z's secret alleged daughter, Latisha Macer from Cambridge, Maryland, a town where Jay-Z used to live and hustle in the early 90s, spoke out in a video.
Family back with another Hip Hop Culture Today story. Man, this guy, Chris Gotti, Irv Gotti brother, gets into details about the night that Jay-Z stabbed Un. And man, he let it all out, man. He let it all out. I mean, I don't understand how these guys, you know, get on these podcasts and they just let their mouth run like water, man. Let's get into this video quick and hear what he got to say.
When that happened with Un, I was in the club. Preem was in the club. He come in. He took his chain. I run over to him. What's up? We got a problem in here. Let's get. I'm like, we in here crazy. Like, what's good? He's like, nah, it ain't that. So I didn't know what it was. So I leave him alone. I back up, but I'm watching it.
Shout out to Tap In Anonymous for this interview with Chris Gotti. Man, I don't understand these OG niggas, man. They supposedly OGs letting it loose.
Alright. Remember when Jay-Z said this?
I think we've passed kneeling.
Let me play it again. But this time, look at the reaction of the lady sat just behind him. The reason why she's worried about how Jay would respond is because she's the CEO of Roc Nation. But in her former life, she was a federal informant. In 1994, Desiree Perez was arrested for bringing in 35 keys of Griselda Blanco into Miami. Under pressure, she agreed to wear a wire for the DEA. Quick side note, Desiree Perez is the name Dame Dash refused to say in this Breakfast Club interview.
Once a has certain friends, we don't even talk about them no more where I'm from.
Now, around that same time, Jay-Z and Perez spearheaded Roc Nation's prison reform initiative with Meek Mill. I guess their hard work paid off, because on the 19th of January 2021, this list was released. Desiree Perez's criminal past had just been wiped clean by the outgoing president, Donald Trump.
Jay-Z's former childhood friend and street partner DeHaven exposes him in an Instagram post titled, "This Can't Be Life Part 1, where he explained that Jay was allegedly involved in setting him up to get indicted. He posted a clip of the film In Too Deep, where LL Cool J's character realizes Omar Epps' character was an undercover cop the whole time.
You a cop?
Hi, Jay Reed. You ain't no cop. You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
The whole time the feds had me on their radar since my Trenton days. And it's now 1998. That's a whole 10 years. Jay been around me 90% that time. How could his name not come up at all? I read my whole case, thousands and thousands sheets of paper, and his name not come up once.
All right, so we're going to get into this video of this DeHaven response to Jaguar recent interview on the Blue Couch. DeHaven, you know, that's Jay-Z former childhood friend that Jay-Z, you know, liked to rap about on the lyric, you know, on his albums and all that. So he responded to Jaguar's a clip from the interview where you know, they asked her about Diddy and the whole, you know, Cassie thing and the whole case thing, and asked her who's next, basically who they gonna go after next, and she mentions Jay-Z. And so DeHaven responded to that. Let's go ahead and get into the clip real quick, just to refresh y'all, just to recap y'all on this real quick. All right, let's get into it.
Ever been to a P. Diddy party? Yeah, many, honestly. And so, can you take us through like what goes on, like when you were there? Money and sex.
Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No,
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak offs now, is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak offs.
Hey, everybody know that. I've been saying it. So why does Puffy, why now? Why? Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch. So who's next? Y'all don't see the lineup? Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and fucking took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one. Have you ever been to
All right, so DeHaven responded to Jaguar. He said at some point everyone will be locked up and have cases on but him. I guess he's referring to Jay-Z. He said, understand and read my last post. So what we're going to do is go back to his last post, what we reported on, where he indicated that Jay-Z was working with the feds or something like that. So, I mean, we can't confirm or deny it. We're just going off the account of what they're basically saying about this, giving their account or whatever, or they believe what might have happened. So we're gonna pull this video up real quick. Hold on.
Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. Jay-Z's former childhood friend DeHaven lately have been dropping miniature excerpts from a chapter in his book titled The Carters about his life and the times of coming up with Jay-Z. DeHaven recently posted on his Instagram titled Family Feud Part 1, where he explains a conversation he has with Jay-Z's mother, Miss Gloria. Family Feud Part 1. I thought about it long and hard only to come up with, it had to be Miss Carter. She was only one I spoke to via phone. I've been in Wake County Jail for 2 weeks now, and not a word from Jay. I applied so much pressure on my shorty to find Jay, only to know that he was purposely making himself unavailable, which led me to calling my own mother to get Miss Carter's direct phone number. It was just a brief short conversation, something like this. Me. Hey, Miss Carter, Gloria. Hey, who this? Me. DeHaven. Gloria. Oh, hey, what's up? Me. I've been looking for Jay. I need to speak with him. Gloria, where are you? Me. Locked up in jail. Gloria, you're calling from jail. Me. Yes. Gloria says, well, yes, I will be sure Sean gets the message in a startling voice as if calling from jail was a crime. 1 week later, there was rumors circulating in the hood about me making a suspicious phone call to Jay's mother. I made a direct phone call to Ms. Carter, and now my business is in the street. Why? The one time I ever asked or needed anything from Ms. Carter and she does this to me, yes, our mothers was friends, but Ms. Carter never treated me like my mother treated her son. Just an excerpt from the chapter called The Carters. Book being released this spring, a must-read. Family Feud, Part 2.
All right, so DeHaven basically saying that, behind that whole a week ago thing that Jay-Z was rapping about, the song he got with Too Short, he's basically just, giving a background on that, basically saying when he talked to Jay's mother, he was labeled as a snitch after that. So, and if that was the case, there would be paperwork and all that if he was actually a snitch and whatever, but no one ever produced paperwork of DeHaven being a snitch or snitching on Jay-Z or snitching on anybody for that matter. So let's go ahead and move on to part 2 real quick.
Remember clearly one day Ms. Carter squaring me up and looked me in my eyes and told me make sure her son is safe while running around with me. And I did just that. Plus my family enjoyed having Jay around. When Jay got robbed, I was there to defend him and got a gun put to my head. When Jay got robbed again, I got into a shootout in the projects. When Jay and I got stuck up, I took a bullet for him to get away. When Jay got locked up, my mother was there front and center. When asked what she was there for, she said to pick up her son. When Jay got sick, my mother would get up, drive 3 hours, just take him to the hospital. When Jay wanted to live with me, my aunt gave him shelter as well. My family has always treated Jay like family. The one time I needed and counted on his mother, where was the love? As far as I know, Jay got the message, but it wasn't the message that I sent. Ms. Carter didn't even have the decency to have a conversation with my mother. But instead, the whole Carter family distanced themselves from the Irby family till this very day. Just an excerpt from the chapter called The Carters. Book being released this spring, a must-read.
All right, so that's DeHaven basically breaking down how, you know, how their family was real close. His mom and Jay mom was like sisters, you know what I mean? And then after, you know, he got locked up, whatever, and then Jay got further in his career, he's basically saying that the Carters separated from his family, you know, just like easy, you know what I mean? So he basically saying that every time Jay got locked up, every time Jay got locked up, his mom would actually go get Jay, you know what I mean, out of jail. And without even letting Jay-Z's mom know, just, you know, just to keep him out of trouble, you know, from his moms or whatever. So that's, I mean, that's crazy. So it was a point in time where Jag and DeHaven was actually supposed to you know, do like an interview with each other or something like that. Cause I remember her coming to our channel, you know, during the time we had the Night Day Network LLC channel, and basically saying she wanted to link up with DeHaven to get the word out to him. Because y'all know we've been reporting on DeHaven for a while. You know what I mean? Ever since, ever since he did the Marcy Maid documentary or whatever. So here's a video actually right here that he had posted on his page when Jag was trying to get up with him. Whatever. Let's recap this real quick.
Look, it's really simple. This is going to be short and sweet. This isn't a long video. I was just watching what DeHaven had to say. And it's funny how YouTube has like become a place where certain people can kind of pass messages. DeHaven, I think it's time we talk. I think a conversation between you and I could be very productive. And I agree with everything that you say. I've been agreeing with you for much longer than you know. And I think there's some people we have in common that it might surprise you that we have in common. I think you a down ass dude. I think you about it. I think you're the real deal. My email address is my name, jaguarwright@gmail.com. Let's start there. But I want to talk to you. And I think I may have some things that you need to hear me say to you. Not to the world, but to you. So, thanks everyone for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my husband.
So that was the time Jag wanted to link up with DeHaven because she thinks she might have had some information, which I think that's impossible because Jay-Z correlation with DeHaven and Jaguar doesn't fit nowhere in that puzzle. Because everything he went through with Jay-Z is way before, way before Jay even blew up in the industry. So Jag has nothing to say to DeHaven regarding Jay-Z. I think DeHaven knows everything about Jay-Z that he needs to know about Jay-Z to tell his story. I don't think he needs Jaguar for that because Jaguar wasn't even around during the late 80s and early 90s when they was out there running the streets and hustling. Jag wasn't nowhere in the picture. Jag, you wasn't even around Jay-Z until 2000s when y'all did the MTV, Unplugged. What do you got to tell that man? It's nothing that she has to tell that man. I think that man doing fine by telling his own story because he was there. He was there through the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's his story. He don't need Jag for that. So I don't know how that would have even worked out. It's nothing that she could have said to that man that make that man go, oh, oh, this would went nothing. There's no correlation there, man. That's way before Jaguar. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of DeHaven, mentioning about some sacrifices that he made for Jay-Z, which a lot of them we know about, you know, and some things he might have mentioned that we don't know about. I think he talks about visiting the Brooklyn, you know, library, the Jay-Z Book of Hove exhibit. And, you know, and a lot of the things he basically breaks down like a lot of things was left out of that because if it wasn't for his, you know, if it wasn't for him, you know, Jay wouldn't be where he at, far as like, you know, him being able to look out for Jay during the time they was running the streets and all that. So let's go ahead and get into this clip with DeHaven real quick. I thought it would play.
Let's get to my whole experience. I want to get to my whole experience. So y'all in here, I want to see some more people. Y'all in here, let's get to this whole experience. Right?
Make sure y'all hit that like button too.
When I walk up, when you walk up, I don't know, this is my perspective and how I feel. Like when I walk up and I see it, the whole scripture and the lyrics on the wall, how it's presented, it almost looks like a page out of the Bible, like scripture. It looks like scripture. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you looking at things, right? And I still think it was dope. I think that shit was dope. And going in, seeing the whole layout, you know, it was funny because the Baseline Studios, right? The Baseline Studios, as I'm standing in there, like I'm envisioning my Aunt Liz crib in the living room because that was like a studio. That was the studio. So I'm like, I can see, you know what I'm saying? Like, look where it come from. Like, look where it come from. That I was there to start that, you know, to be this before all this. It's just, it's like I'm experiencing, like it's surreal, all of this, but you know, as you walk through and you see the pictures, the milestones, the work, the hard work. I see pictures of my nephew. Shout out Derek. I see pictures. He got pictures of my nephew in the picture. If you guys they never know with him and all the kids, my nephew was in there and shit. So he got that up, and it's on there up there a few times in there. Seeing the Barclays Center, that sculpture, that model, that little model is just another thing that I'm like, yo, you know, this is something he responsible for and shit. You know, this is something Jay responsible for, or was his name is a part of and shit like this and all this. So you know, it was great. It was a good look. It was a good look. If I was trying to show you that, like, I'm this super being, like my accomplishments makes me this superhuman, like superhuman motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's odd because it's like, you know, like I said, it's almost like they want you to worship him. Like, yo, you should worship him, bro. Like, okay, worship him, and you can be like him one day. It's different. Worshiping him and trying to, you know, accomplish, you know, those accolades and shit is different. Because it's different. Like, the whole time I'm there, I can see pictures. I see people, these guys there are saying, like, this nigga raised me. This nigga raised me. Taking pictures. This nigga raised me. And I'm trying to piece in my head, like, okay, he was brought up. He was brought up off of this music. He raised him. It's just like, if he raised you, like, why would you say that? Like, what is the meaning of that? Like, That there's no other father. Like you ain't have no father in your life. That's
Yeah, and that's how people really looked at hip hop, like as a father, like looked at these rappers as father figures because they own fathers wasn't there. So that's the mindset of niggas from the hood, that grew up off of early hip hop. You know what I mean? Looked at these niggas as father figures. You even heard Tupac talk about how these niggas was like my father, like the old school hip hop niggas was like my father because my daddy wasn't there. And you learn how to, you know what I mean? You learn how to get nuts. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to, grow balls from listening to the rappers, you know what I mean? That was putting out music, talking about, how hard they was, no Diddy, or how G'd up they were and all that. So, and that's basically how hip hop became like the father to most people that grew up in, in the hood or whatever, because their fathers wasn't there. So they looked at the rapper as the hero or the father figure. So I understand what niggas mean by saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Number one, like most of them, I only know one person that's true to that. When they say Jay raised him, he living that he living that, and he know it. You know what I'm saying? He know things, and I only know one person that proved to me that Jay raised him. Like, when he say raised, he used a lot of ways, a lot of things that Jay said in his music to get through life. So moving on, right, to after seeing the Barclays Center and then shit, and my main thing was walking up to the Reasonable Doubt poster, picture, sculpture situation. Reasonable Doubt. Like, this is what popped it off. Like, this is my life right here. This is my life right here. And my life brought all this, made all this possible. The story of my life right here on Reasonable Doubt made all this possible. Quote Jay in the Decoded. You know what I'm saying? If he knew he had a voice, but he just needed a story to tell. So when we look at Reasonable Doubt, there's my life, there's my story, and there's where it started.
So that's what Jag mean. So you could tell Jag been watching this, and this where Jag got that from, saying, Jay-Z stole the Haven's life, you know what I mean, or whatever, and to put it in Reasonable Doubt. But I look at it as, they had a brotherhood going on. They both was running around the streets at the time. A lot of the things Jay said in his lyrics, D Haven confirmed, but they was running mates. They was running partners. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually both of their lives. I remember Jay saying in Dead Presidents, on the hot block, my man got his side sprayed up. He was talking about D Haven. And you know what I mean? So that all still was part of their experience together. You know what I mean? But I know D Haven feel kind of like, slighted because he was cut out of all the stuff after that. You know what I mean? He was pretty much cut out of all that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's what was the touching this part right there to me in there. Now,
and you can tell you hurt by that though, because he like, damn, I basically don't put my life on the line. You know what I mean? During those times, and pretty much ended up empty-handed at the end of all that, based off of Jay's success or whatever.
As I start.
Hold on, but one thing else to make this clear, this is, I can see he was rewarded by being able to spank that case and get out of jail where he would have to serve a life sentence. So it kind of still worked out for him far as that, because he didn't have to spend the rest of his life in prison. He didn't make off with the riches, but he made off with his freedom. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how the universe balances that out. I don't know if D Haven see it that way. I mean, I would like to actually get an interview with this brother and have one of those type of discussions where, Yeah, I mean, on that level, on the spiritual level, from that perspective, because I know a lot of people have done interviews with him, but they probably haven't brung it to him that way of kind of how his life, he was able to, you know, get out of prison and not have to do life in prison, but he didn't make off with, you know, with the fortune to run with Jay and them. Like, I don't know. Let's continue.
I had to walk out of this place, right? As I'm walking out of this place, a sense of other things started falling into my head about, okay, I just seen all of these accomplishments and accolades and all of this other shit, and I started thinking about what I didn't see. You know, Choke and quite a few other people said the same thing. Who the people that really was a part of it, that was a part of building Reasonable Doubt, is not on that wall. There's no people in there.
Not even Dame. Dame ain't even on that. That's
these
crazy.
are all I see is high people, high execs. It's not nobody. Like, there's this whole other world that's not seen. This whole other world that's not seen. And then when I start saying this whole other world, this dark place of everything that was responsible for this. You know, I envision prisons and lives and that souls that's been ruined, lives that's been ruined, people that die, all the like this dark thing of people that behind this.
Right. I see what he's saying. Basically, all the people that had this, you know, that died in the streets for it. You know what I mean? All the people that, you know, sacrificed their lives and went to jail for it and everything. So I understand. I see what he's saying. A lot of that was cut out of that art exhibit. Like, you know what I mean? So for whatever reason, Jay left that part out. I guess he didn't want that in there. I don't know if they propping Jay up to be like a political figure where that stuff, you know what I mean? They wanted, you know, they didn't want to display none of that stuff. I mean, then how really can you really display any of that? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, because, you know, if they propping him up to be some type of political figure, then it's like, what's the point of putting that stuff in there? You know, the street stuff, but I don't understand how you left Dame out though. That's weird to me too, how Dame was left out of that, which is, I don't know, man. I don't know what type of rhyme or reason they got for that, but I guess we'll see.
Started thinking about my sacrifices.
Yeah, you can tell he hurt by that, bro. Like, damn.
Because I ain't gonna front. From 5 minutes that I walked in there, I kind of like was looking at my part. I was looking at my homegirl. I said, "Wow, this nigga owe me." Like, I never had said this nigga owe me. I let the people talk. You know, I never had said this because, you know, whatever he owed me a conversation, or he definitely owed me some apology, he owed me money, whatever the fuck. But that said, after 5 minutes with it, I was like, this nigga owe me. Because the sacrifices, I'm gonna start from when he got robbed. First time he got robbed, boom. I ended up getting a gun put to my head and almost got killed for that. Second time, I jumped in front of a bullet. I almost died for that. Third time, niggas on his ass want to kill him. Kill him. I sacrificed my reputation and my word for that. That's just me and my sacrifices and all the other fights and battles and whatever I have to do to make that happen. Did I see that happening? Nah, it's because I made those choices because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I made these choices and sacrifices. I sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed my life. I made a promise to Gloria Carter that her son will be all right. I'm on trial for the rest of my life. Them niggas asking me about them niggas. I don't know nothing, my nigga. Jay who? What? Do this, that, Emery, what? Nigga, come on, man. I don't know nothing, man. We gonna fight. Stand tall. Sacrifice my life. You want who? Nah. You know we going to trial for this. So when I say no me, no Jay, nigga, y'all gotta get that shit through y'all head. I'm humble. I got a humble soul. If anything, Emery, I got a humble soul. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my experience. That, is it worth it? Was it worth it for me? Was it worth it? Like, was it worth it?
Bro, you was able to get out of prison though, bro. I mean, that's the flip side of it. You might not be able to, benefit off the success of Jay, even though you had part in getting him there, but you was able to get out and fight and still fight that case and get out without them niggas even helping you out. You know what I mean? And your benefit would be from telling your own story. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I don't know how the brother look at it. Maybe he look at it that way, maybe he doesn't. But you know what I mean? I feel like that was an opportunity for him to actually, tell his story, because he ain't have to spend the rest of his life in prison. Jay-Z former friend DeHaven speaks out on Jay-Z again, but this time around, he feels like Jay-Z was working with the feds the whole time they was hustling. So recently, DeHaven did an interview with Boss Talk 101 podcast, which y'all could definitely go check out on their YouTube channel. But I wanted to get into some highlights that they posted on their Instagram with DeHaven, an interview that he did with them recently, where he said he felt like, Jay-Z was like the Jay Reed from In Too Deep, the movie with LL and Omar Epps. So let's go ahead and get into this clip right here by Boss Talk 101 podcast featuring DeHaven. Let's go ahead and get into this real quick.
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed. You ain't no cop. Yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, like I said, man, I'm only giving you facts. And the facts is they had me under investigation for 11 years, 12 years, and me and you share a history of 9, 10 years, and you're not in this. Hey. Damn. Somebody would be just like somebody that's on the outside that don't know nothing about this federal shit would be like, well, that's just what it is. Maybe he was smart. And somebody that know this gonna be here and say, nah, bro, that don't work like that.
There was more to it.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You hear? I told you they had me on investigation from 88 up. But yet you can hear reasonable doubt say we've been getting money since 88. So you around. You clarifying that you around, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't want you.
Wait a minute. You telling me really the confirmation is out there. The confirmation, the information for all of this
all
stuff.
That is out there, man.
On the records.
People just, you know what? People just don't want to see. I didn't want to know that it wasn't no Santa Claus when they told me. Like, what? You lying? You ain't.
So he feels like that since he's been investigated since 88, all the way up to like maybe 98, 99 or something like that, that Jay-Z has never been arrested, or even if he was arrested, he never caught any charges. So basically he said he felt like Jay-Z was kind of like protected by the feds the whole time. Now, 6 months ago, I had reported on this actually, where someone had did edit video, which I actually did a video on as well, which we're gonna get into, where DeHaven mentioned about Jay felt like Jay was protected by the feds, and he had posted these clips of the movie In Too Deep, where at the end, where Omar Epps, basically the feds came and got LL, and then Jay Reed was standing there, and he was, the whole scene where you're not the cop, Jay Reed, and all that. So let's get into this quick edit real quick, and then we're gonna hop into that.
All right. Remember when Jay-Z said this?
I think we've passed kneeling.
Let me play it again. This time, look at the reaction of the lady sat just behind him. The reason why she's worried about how Jay would respond is because she's the CEO of Rock Nation. But in her former life, she was a federal informant. In 1994, Desiree Perez was arrested for bringing in 35 keys of Griselda Blanco into Miami. Under pressure, she agreed to wear a wire for the DEA. Quick side note, Desiree Perez is the name Dame Dash refused to say on this Breakfast Club interview.
Once a has certain friends, we don't even talk about them no more where I'm from.
Now, around that same time, Jay-Z and Perez spearheaded Rock Nation's prison reform initiative with Meek Mill. I guess their hard work paid off, because on the 19th of January 2021, this list was released. Desiree Perez's criminal past had just been wiped clean by the outgoing president, Donald Trump. All right.
So if y'all don't know Desiree Perez is, she's the wife of one of Jay-Z's homeboys, OG Juan, where I guess he was like, a major drug dealer back in the day or whatever. So his wife was moving keys and all that, got popped with like 30 keys or something, and then she turned informant, basically turning into cartels, which now she ended up being CEO of Rock Nation, partners with Jay-Z. So I guess DeHaven is thinking back in his mind like, well, damn, these people you running with now are tied in with the feds. Like, then how far do this shit go back? You know what I'm saying? That's his mindset. I mean, this ain't me saying it. That's DeHaven's mindset. So let's go ahead and get into this video where I did, I think maybe 6 months ago, maybe. I think I got like 147K views on it. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is the video on our channel called Jay-Z former friend DeHaven reveals Jay-Z was allegedly protected by the feds during his indictment. So let's go ahead and get into this. These are inserts from DeHaven's page. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Jay-Z's former childhood friend and street partner DeHaven exposes him in an Instagram post titled, "This Can't Be Life Part 1, where he explained that Jay was allegedly involved in setting him up to get indicted. He posted a clip of the film In Too Deep, where LL Cool J's character realizes Omar Epps' character was an undercover cop the whole time. DeHaven writes, "This Can't Be Life Part 1. Shit starting not to making sense. My indictment papers say on or about 1988 to 1996, I conspired to sell and distribute crack cocaine, meaning the whole time the feds had me on their radar since my Trenton days. And it's now 1998. That's a whole 10 years. Jay been around me 90% that time. How could his name not come up at all? I read my whole case, thousands and thousands sheets of paper, and his name not come up once. 6 people testified against me. I did nothing but make all 6 of rich. Every one of them had a story to tell about all the coke I sold them. They spoke about everyone in my crew besides Jay, and don't get me wrong, Jay was popping at the time, meaning he would have been a much bigger fish to fry at the time. Both of my co-defendants got themselves an attorney and got a deal without telling on anyone. Put their heads up, poked their chests out, and stood 10 toes down. I had to respect that. The whole time I'm sitting in a federal courtroom fighting for my life, I'm thinking about how Jay looked me in my eyes and said that I didn't need to worry about anything, that he had me, and the whole time he was curving me. This can't be life part 2. Here I am by myself with no deal on the table and a court appointment attorney that's asking me, would I consider 20 years if he can get that deal? Not to mention the work I put in for Dame Dash to formulate Rockefeller Records. He didn't even throw me a lifeline either. For all I know, I'm fighting 2 conspiracies. One with government, and one with the very people I tried to help and protect. It was almost like Jay was being protected and the government focus was just on me. They wanted me so bad they superseded my indictment to make sure I don't see the light of day ever again if I got convicted. Through the whole ordeal I'm going through, Jay's starting to plant these little seeds in his music. Songs like It Was All Good a week ago, directed towards me. So now, the streets is watching. This was just a except from the chapter, This Canty Life. Thank you for love and support on the Marcy Made documentary. Please keep sharing my story. It's free. It costs nothing to share.
Yeah, he actually did a documentary called Marcy Made. It's actually free on YouTube, and I think it's on Tubi too, so y'all can check that out. to get a little bit more detail of, you know, how him and Jay came up and how they fell out and all that. But damn, this is deep right here. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So he did speak on Dame Dash during that Boss Talk interview as well, which I want to play a little bit of that too. So shout out to shout out to Boss Talk Podcast 101. They got the full interview on their YouTube channel, which y'all could go check out. But this is DeHaven actually speaking on Dame Dash and how Jay and Dame fell out, and you know his twist on it or whatever. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Dame is he ends up in a situation where him and Jay-Z don't even talk or don't even. He ends up the
That's
same.
gonna happen.
But
how can I not see that happen?
you seen the fact
I risked my life
you
for this
seen
nigga,
you knew
Dame ain't putting no. What did he sacrifice? Nah, for real. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
That's
Both
real.
talk. You know what I'm saying? This is where the betrayal and the hurt coming at, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, I can see that coming. I sacrificed my life for that shit for him. Not once, not twice. I put my life on the line a lot of times. You understand? And he still dumped me to the wayside. So you think that I think y'all relationship gonna work out down the line if you ain't sacrificed nothing?
You knew it was.
You just came in because you had knowledge about the business and knew how to be a boss in that business to help you, to this and that and the third. Okay, cool. That's just it. He gonna use you for that then.
Then he done.
Then you're done. Or whatever happened in the relationship. I can never tell you what happened in a relationship. But at the end of the day, I already know. I put my life on the line for it. He ain't respect that. How is he gonna respect that? You ain't put your life on the line. Kanye ain't put his wife on the line. Nobody around him that he disposed of, they sacrificed their life for him. Only people around him might be, okay, Henry took the ride and whatever time.
Dame.
Hey, so he feel like that Dame, you know, being as though he looked out for them, you know, to help them. They actually be a part of the brick of building Rockefeller, that when he got locked up, they just left him by the wayside or whatever. So, I mean, I know a lot of people saying they tired of DeHaven speaking on it, because, you know, but that's his story or whatever he's speaking on. Like me, like I said, we can't confirm or deny because we wasn't there. Only thing we could do is just report on this shit. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So, you know, Dame and Jay-Z going through their thing right now as far as with Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? And they you know, with Rockefeller, the 33rd in 3, you know, state that Dame has in is going up for auction. I think Dame said it's at 3 million right now, but he's trying to sell it for 10 million before the auction happened. So yeah, this is a lot of shit dealing with this Jay-Z and Dame Dash and DeHaven and all this. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So this is DeHaven actually mentioning that he basically feel like Jay-Z and Dame Dash used them to build, you know, to help build Rockefeller. So let's get into this.
And, you know, and long story short, man, Dame seemed to forget about what position I played when it came to building Rockefeller. I helped, and, you know, and long story short, man, Dame seemed to forget about what position I played when it came to building Rockefeller.
Yep. So he feel like that you know, they left him out. Basically left him out of that whole deal. You know, after he went to jail and all that, and basically they said they curved him when he got home. They curved him, and that's what made him go, you know, that viral video that went on YouTube, him snapping on YouTube about it. You know what I mean, going off on Jay-Z, his family, and all that. So damn. Yeah, man, this shit crazy. So yeah, this is a situation here. You know, he dressed a lot when it came to Jay-Z.
That's the thing.
So I think this is another thing where he addressed Emery. There's another one of their homeboys, because remember it was Jay-Z, Emery, and Dame. I mean, Jay-Z, Emery, and Jay that was hustling around the same time with each other. And then, you know, Emery still cool with Jay, and he's not. So let's get into this real quick.
You see what he said? He went to his house, to his mama house. Like, that's me. Like, people know, like, my mom is like mom to Jay. His mom is like mom. When I came to New York, I had no family. They family became, Tata and Jay family became my family. I had no family. So imagine a kid at 16 coming to Brooklyn in 88.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that.
So it was actually, it was DeHaven the one that took Emery in before he even met Jay-Z. So that was the bridge between Emery and Jay-Z was DeHaven. So DeHaven actually responded to this and saying, when Captain goes wrong, tune in live early at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss this. Sharing this post is a must because basically they don't even speak on DeHaven no more. They don't speak on him at all. You know what I'm saying? They do not speak on him at all. Like, they be doing interviews and shit. His name do not come up, but he actually played a major part in Jay-Z's success, which we all know of, All right, so this is a live stream where he actually addressed Emery and the whole Jay-Z situation after he made that statement on DJ Clue's podcast.
Emery. Now, where am I start from? Because you see the video and his lies, right? You see the lie, straight out lie about, his family with Tata and Jay, the first family, and then you backtrack and then, with the Charlemagne shit. So you see these lies and shit, right? And you hear him speak on this boss mentality shit, right? And he says, back in 88, when, 88, bro, Tata ain't know you in 88, so I don't even know how you put him in the picture. Tata ain't know you in 88, but you can have your dates and shit confused and shit and everything. I'm gonna let that ride and shit, but then you spoke about, and I see you trying to tell your story, and it's okay. It's okay to tell your story, bro. But when you're telling your story, right, and it conflicts with my story, right? And it conflicts with my story.
Maybe that's the diversion they sending. Jay want to happen. They're not speaking on you on purpose so it can conflict with your story and basically leave you out of it because the things you saying, they don't want to hear what you saying. Because you on the outside. So let's continue.
And you got Mama Love look like she lying now. And it's a problem with that. It is. It's a problem with that. Because it's conflicting with my story, making it seem like we liars over here. You understand? He's making it seem like we liars over here. So if you want to change the story, just you can't change history, really. And everybody see that that's what y'all trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to me and your relationship, right? You spoke about being rich at 16, 17. That's all through me. Right? That's all through me. That's all through me. But it's cool that you trying to X me out and do all of this shit because it's almost like you playing the same selfish card that Jay play. The same selfish card. When I say the selfish shit, same shit. Jay don't do shit. Yo, listen to me. Jay don't do shit for Marcy. And a lot of people might be like, oh, you talking about he don't do shit. What do you do? Nah. What do I do? I tell you what. Ask Tiz, ask T.I., ask Ari, ask the niggas that be running programs for these kids. What do I do? Ask them, do I donate? The working man. Ask them, do the working man. Ask them, do the working man donate? Ask them. So I can speak on Jay not doing shit for Marcy. But guess what? Emory not doing nothing for Cambridge neither. Jack shit for Cambridge neither. The same following footsteps, and it's a shame that how bad that town is, Cambridge is now. Cause I'm there, I'm moving around on the shore because I do filming down there for my series and everything. But I'm there and I can see and people talk, like they so disappointed in him, right? That they really not gonna say because they love him. And I get that, they love him, but they really not gonna say, but they love him. But he don't do shit, and it's a shame that he takes this, that he take the platform he had and do this bullshit instead of go back home and fix some problems going on down there. They got a terrible drug problem. They're still the same. They ODing down there, and he don't give a fuck about nobody down there. Same shit with Jay. Same shit. He don't give a fuck about nobody from Marcy. He don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm telling y'all this. That's how I'm telling you. All that boss talk, you ain't no boss talk. Because if you was boss talk, you'd be home fixing that. Knowing that. You have a responsibility. We have a responsibility, my nigga. To go back home and fix that. You know what we know what we did. Which I was listening to the prosecutor when they was trying to give me life. I understood when she said, I'm the cause and I was the problem and what it did to the community and how much drugs I did. I understood it. She was 100% right with it. But instead, you take your platform, turn your back on your peoples, same way, and go fuck with the op. And you know why I say op? Because we're going to get into that now. Because I'm wondering how you so comfortable when you come home and your man fuck with Miss Perez, which is a foreman, and you so comfortable with it. It's almost like it's all...
Bro, niggas is choosing the money over moral principles. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's the money, bro. It's the money and it's the doors that's provided when going along with that shit, bro. So niggas is choosing that over their moral compass, bro. You know what I mean?
It was all planned out, bro. Did y'all plan this shit? Because you seem like you okay with that shit. Oh, I was quiet, you know what I'm saying, and remain humble. Y'all niggas don't owe me shit.
Well, shit, Emory had to play the background. Him just getting out of jail, out of prison, I mean. You know what I mean? And him linking back up with Jay, shit, he ain't really nothing he could do but just play the background and, and try to figure some shit out, while you running along with Jay. That's how, you know what I mean? He really ain't had no say so in the matter. He could have chose not to F with the nigga, or he chose, and obviously he chose, and then he gotta, go along with whatever comes along with that.
Really? Them niggas owe a lot of niggas. You just one nigga that they looked out for. You forgetting about it's niggas that went to prison for a long time behind these niggas. It's niggas that died behind these niggas. Ain't got shit for it. And you gonna brag about it? Let me see. So it's almost like you only get the bag if you do time, huh? Because I ain't do time. I beat the case, right? I ain't do time. But I still could have brought the whole team down. I put it on my back though and held that.
And when they were saying, I guess they was trying to say DeHaven snitched because what Jay said on that record, like F DeHaven for caving, Mayman ain't supposed to make statements. I guess he was basically talking about the YouTube stuff that went viral, not him actually snitching, because there's no paperwork of DeHaven snitching. I mean, niggas then probably searched millions of times to see was that statement real that Jay-Z was making, and nobody ever came up with paperwork saying DeHaven told. So, I mean, let's continue.
You don't get the bag for that now. You know what I'm saying? Because it all boiled down to that John niggas was trying to use me as the fall guy. As the fall guy. Hear me now. Listen to me. Now it looks like all the people that I thought that was telling, right? That I thought started this shit. They wasn't the ones that started this shit. You brought the heat. You brought the heat on and made it look like these niggas was doing all the telling. Or else where all the heat come from? I don't know what bargaining Jay and Desiree had, but bottom line, you brought the heat down there. So y'all try to line me up that something that I ain't have nothing to do with it. That's why I ain't in prison. But did they harass me about y'all? Did they harass me about Jay and them? Yeah. But I ain't doing that. So listen, young, when you talking about, oh, them war stories, you not down, these young niggas, they don't want to hear that. They need to hear that. They need to hear who was on the front line and what the fucking rewards are for that. You understand? Yeah, you had a smooth ride in prison and all that shit, nigga, because it was planned. And guess what? Everything you doing now, you could have been doing without fucking with that nigga and the informant. I would have respected that. And you sitting there.
Then again, he may not have, because Jay would have probably closed some doors on him as far as like him trying to involve himself with people from the industry, you know, that was pushing that Plains brand, which is Emery's. You know, a lot of celebrities was rocking that. A lot of people was pushing that. So he might not be able to get as far as he could if he wasn't messing with Jay. You know what I'm saying? He probably, you know, independent or whatever. And you know how hard it is to be independent out here. So his, you know, his leadway was his best friend being Jay-Z, and Jay-Z being a billionaire and all that. So, I mean, that's how it turned out. Let's continue.
Telling people is when you bring someone home to your house, how real it is, and you sat at my crib and you gonna run the same fucking game on. Come on, bro. We ain't doing that, son. I told you, every time y'all niggas get on camera and start that bullshit, I'm gonna be right here. Cause it's lies y'all niggas spread, bro. You know what I'm saying? It will kill y'all to say, nah, son, that was DeHaven or whatever. I don't even want y'all to say my name now at this point. It'd be best not to say my name, knowing how this whole shit unfolded now. You know what I'm saying? You do 12 years, you do time for the next nigga, and you already know what it is. You ain't supposed to ask for nothing.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to ask for nothing. So I don't know how you living with yourself right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that old boss mentality and what's going on down in fucking Cambridge, that you're not even looking out for them no more. But you made it your business to get down there and straighten out that Letitia Mercer shit though, right? You made it your business to get down there and take care of that though.
So when he's bringing up Letitia Mercer, he's bringing up Jay-Z's, alleged Jay-Z's daughter, which the whole Cambridge know that's Jay-Z's daughter. We actually spoke on that on his channel. So if you ain't checked that out, make sure you check that out. He's basically saying that Jay sent Emery down there to be the cleanup man for that situation, you know, because that was getting real heavy in the media. So let's continue.
Right. Now I'm gonna leave that for you to think about. You thought that was a bigger thing to handle than to be down there and taking care of your whole community and being at least do something. And I ain't listen, man, listen. You could say, I'm not doing this video to tell you that Emery's a bad guy. If he give you an opportunity and you can run with it, that's fine. That's cool. This is me and their problem. This is not me and your problems, whoever feel like, oh, that's fucked up, this whatever, this nigga hating. I ain't hating, bro. This is something personal with me and them, and if you can't stay out of it, if you don't see it, then stay the fuck away off my line. But I'm just telling you how them niggas are, so you can see, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to be dealing with these type of niggas? Plain and simple. So when he get on here and talk that honorable shit and that humble soul shit, that shit is all bullshit trash. You understand? That shit is all bullshit trash. And the only thing y'all niggas gonna respect is violence. And y'all not gonna be a part of that because y'all feel like y'all untouchable, y'all unreachable, you're untouchable and all that other shit. But don't nobody want harm brought to y'all. But the fuckery that y'all do, sooner or later, man, that shit gonna show its ugly head. I'm humble. I'm a humble soul. You know why? Because I didn't crack your head the last time I saw you and you sold me a dream. I'm a humble soul. Because what my man said, you're lucky, like my partner said, I should have went upside your head. But for what? For what when I've been in your mom's house? How does that gonna look? When I've been in your mom's house, when I had the key to your crib and go in your crib and all of this, how does that look? That ain't me looking at being, even, knowing your mother and being a part of this. That ain't me. But the respect y'all got for mine, I should never, I shouldn't be humble. You making it obvious, really, that you a fuckboy because everything about me is real. You know what I'm saying? And they not asking you the right questions. Shout out to SO and y'all tried it, but them niggas will die before they say DeHaven.
Dang.
They'll die before they say DeHaven. And like I said, a lot of y'all don't know the history. You think Emery the only one did time for them niggas? You know what I'm saying? You think Emery the only one who put their life on the line for them niggas? Man, listen, Emery wants to be Jay, got to be, because he do the same shit to his people, bro. The same shit he do to his people. You know what I'm saying? And I guess when you run with that shit, you run with the punch of fuck niggas, that's how you gonna be, a fuck nigga. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? And all that other shit is out the window. I just want to get that off my chest. Since you want to get out here and lie and do all that dumbass shit and talk about how real it is and what it means to sit in someone's house and their mother involved, nigga, you did it all already with me and you turned your back on me with the same shit to fuck with them niggas that not legit, that lined us up from the beginning. You're not going to be able to tell me that Jay and Desiree didn't have a plan and you went and did the lick.
Damn, so he's speaking on it again. He feel like that Jay was working with them the whole time with the feds and all that. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I don't put it past nobody, but like I said, we can't confirm or deny because we wasn't there, but it does look kind of sketchy, being as though that the chick was an informant for the feds, and then she ended up being partners at Rockefeller. I mean, at Rock Nation. And then, Dame, he don't even speak on that situation with that. Like he said when a friend become friends with a certain type of people, we don't even speak on it where we from. So, I mean, Dame never really spoke on that situation with the Desiree Perez situation. He never spoke on it. And he probably don't because, I mean, niggas probably get spooked because, they don't know, what can happen with that as far as, with the feds and all that. Let's continue, man.
You're not going to be able to tell me that now. I had a moderator to my shit. Why? People need to get put out. That's the second time somebody said add a moderator to my shit. Like, listen, the haters, man, they gonna be there, man. They can't stand this real shit. And it's right in their face. The haters just can't stand that shit, son. But I can't stand the fuckery. And like I said, bro, when your story conflicts with mine and making my people look like they fraudulent, nah, we gonna have a problem. We just gonna have a problem. So those who've been on here and don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go see Marcy Made. Make sure you keep sharing Marcy Made. We need that because we need to see this shit on the big screen. Because they not going to do it. Not while I'm alive. He said it. Why should we do movies? Because you can't even tell the story straight. So you're not going to tell the movie straight.
Dang.
So you're not going to tell the movie straight. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. But I say this, man, them niggas live as selfish. It's all about them. Every time they come on and show their face, they want to sell us something and act like they looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted, this didn't even take long, bro. And watch how many numbers this shit do fucking with him. I told him, every time he pop off, he has no business talking about nothing because everything gonna come out a lie. Everything gonna come out a lie. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't understand these cats, bro. But, it ain't hard burying these niggas every time they fucking say something, man. If you wanna sell something and do something, just sell that, man. But don't sell a story that ain't yours and try to change it around. That ain't gonna be cool.
And man, make sure y'all comment below this video, man. I definitely wanted to, touch bases on this. Make sure y'all go, follow the Boss Talk Podcast 101 on YouTube and on Instagram. Check out the full interview they did with DeHaven or whatever. And man, this your boy JR Curry for Night Day Talk Media, man. And make sure y'all comment below, thumbs up this video, and subscribe to this channel. All right, peace.
Do you have neurological pain, chest pain, heart palpitations, headaches, brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, and abdominal discomfort? With all the environmental disasters and contaminants plaguing our land, water, air, and food, we need something to counteract all the pollution that is making us sick. This is where Zeolite comes to the rescue. Millions of people have been using detoxification supplements to remove harmful toxins, pollutants, heavy toxic metals, as well as to balance pH levels. Lower the risk of risks like cold and flu, support the immune system, and improve nutrient absorption. What is zeolite? Zeolite is a volcanic ash that forms over time when ash and lava react with alkalized water, resulting in a compound with a very strong cage-like structure and a negative charge. Zeolite is one of the most fascinating and powerful nature remedies available. Great to detox and balance your body. Health benefits of detoxing. The removal of excess heavy metals can improve overall health. Detoxification helps balance a body's pH levels. This product provides 30 capsules, 1 month supply, ships within 3 days. Purchase now at Night and Day, netmarket.com, and haven't been evaluated by the FDA. We do not claim our product cure or treat any ailments. Please consult with your medical healthcare provider to see if ZeoAid will be right for you.